The year 2002. I was just a little chubby kid going into preschool for the day and getting home, planting my butt down in front of the TV, waiting for my favorite shows. I was a YTV kid. Stuff like Pokemon, Naruto, SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents was a pretty good one. And while I enjoyed those shows, I was most interested in one very particular show, Yugioh. Hey, do you remember The Zone? Sorry, off track. Yu-Gi-Oh was huge when I was younger. I was obsessed with it until around grade 5 or so, and then like everything else, you grow out of it. I did get back into it during high school, but besides nostalgia, I don't really do much with it anymore. But back then, man, damn. Of course, school banned them, seeing trading and battling them as a form of gambling, which is absolutely ridiculous, but hey, whatever, that's another opinion for another time. So we would find times out of school. The most popular in my area was the local fire hall dances put on by the Scouts groups. They would set up tables for people to play board and card games, but by far the vast majority was Yu-Gi-Oh! It was a massive craze back then. Over the years, the cards got too expensive to collect by buying packs. The game took too many twists I disliked, and it went from a game anyone can play to a complex maze of archetypes, deck types, and card styles. Seriously, what the fuck is an XYZ Link monster? Recently, Steam has been releasing Yu-Gi-Oh! Games onto its platform, including the first 2 seasons of the show. Wicked! Cool! What? Sorry. Distractions aside, 2 games made it to Steam. The ever-popular Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, which is an Android release ported over to PC, which enjoys mass popularity for its ease of use, limited card sets, and its decent AI difficulty. Second is the one I want to talk about in depth today, Legacy of the Duelist. Legacy of a Duelist was first, releasing in December of 2016. It kinda flew under the radar. Konami, the parent company of Yu-Gi-Oh!, failed to advertise it well, unlike Duel Links, which is currently on the back of all new real card packs. So is it just that bad? Or is Konami just, being Konami and failing to advertise its shit properly like it, has in the past? Cough, cough. Well, let's see. The in-game menu is, pretty normal for a video game based on cards. There's single player, multiplayer, a deck editor, and a card shop. Single player boasts a campaign through all the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, from the original Duelist Kingdom series to the new Arc V. It loosely and quickly bridges over stories for these series. It thankfully gives you a skip option to go right into the duel though. Each series has a number of duels within it, playing out famous duels in each respective series. For example, in the original series, there's duels against Panic, Seto Kaiba vs. Joey, My Valentine vs. Taya, and so on and so forth. Each duel allows you to pick a deck to use. You can use the deck that's in the show, such as Yugimoto's deck in Duelist Kingdom, or Jaden's deck in GX, or you can use a custom-built deck of your own design. Something odd I found was the ability to use cards outside of their respective series. For example, in the original series, I can make a deck based around XYZ monsters, or Synchros, or even Pendulum monsters, which gives me an unfair advantage against nearly everyone. I highly recommend either using a story deck or making decks based around the era that you are currently playing in. It gives it more of a challenge and doesn't make the AI feel brain dead, stumping them and losing all the challenge after the first turn after you get out somebody like Gigabillion or, I don't know, some Synchro monster or whoever. 2 things, though, bug the crap out of me with this game. The first is the DLC model this game goes with. The newest Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, Arc V, is mainly behind a paywall. Only the tutorial on Pendulum Summoning is available for the Arc V campaign without buying DLC. This is pretty annoying, since it's the newest phase of Yu-Gi-Oh! And people want to play it. Plus, it is a great chance to learn how Pendulum Summoning works before dueling friends in multiplayer or using the real cards. It's disappointing that they would do this to the newest series. Now don't get me wrong, extra DLC content is perfectly fine, but not when it locks part of the entire game's campaign away. Bonus duels, characters, or even famous decks behind DLC paywalls is totally fine in games like these, but not a chunk of the overall experience. Second is a few of the cards themselves. I'll let the videos show you exactly what I mean. Nag, 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 nag. I know when I can and when I want to use this card game. I have played Yu-Gi-Oh! Long enough to know what I want to do and when I want to do it. I don't need you, every single second, telling me I can use a card. I know what it does, I know when I want to use it, and that time is not now. I wouldn't have a problem with this either, but you can't turn it off in the settings at all. It's extremely annoying. I haven't found a Yu-Gi-Oh! Game that actually doesn't have this kind of annoying trait, at least modern games. Duel Links is also quite bad for this, and it should have a setting to turn it off. Experienced Yu-Gi-Oh! Players should not have to deal with the nagging necessity of activating your stupid fucking trap card. A side note as well, the game in windowed mode has a weird flickering effect going on that only leaves if I full screen the game. It hurts my eyes, and I'd imagine somebody with epilepsy would find themselves triggered into a seizure from that. I don't know if it's just me or not, but I don't believe it's my computer alone. The single player also sports Duelist challenges. These are short duels with certain objectives to complete in order to get in-game currency and cards. They are quite fun, and some are quite challenging once you get into them. I recommend them if you want to get currency for cards fast, or you need refreshers on the game. Multiplayer, ranked or unranked of course. Ranked here doesn't have the oomph that it does in Duel Links. There are no real competitions or tournaments, so it's kind of meh. Unranked is fun to try out with new decks or play with friends. It's weirdly balanced though, since any deck can technically be used, so you could say won a classic battle but could be stuck with your Dark Magician deck against an Arc V styled Pendulum deck, or in even a faster GX Fusion deck you'd be outmatched. The algorithm does try and find decks and players with your skill level, but it isn't 100%. Still, to play with friends or test new decks, it's decent enough, though I will admit, Duel Links does do it better. Deck Edit and Card Shop are both pretty self-explanatory. Card Shop, you can buy cards from booster packs you unlock as you play the campaigns. They cost in-game currency that you get from duels in the campaigns or from challenges. The currency is easy to get and plentiful from winning or even losing duels, so you don't have to grind long to get what you need. The deck editor is basic, but it does the job. The deck autosaves also, so you don't really need to worry about it. It's easy to use and fun to build and try new things with such a wide variety of cards. I built 3 or 4 decks now and tried them out. Some worked, some didn't, and that's how it's usually going to go. But I find it pretty fun to make and try out new decks. Finally, Battle Packs. Throughout the game, you'll slowly unlock Battle Packs. Now these can be used to duel other players or AI. You pay so much in-game currency, open a bunch of these packs, and duel with the cards you pull. This earns you a ton of currency for more cards, and is quite fun to just dive in randomly with who knows what. It's a cool mode that's lacking at other Yu-Gi-Oh! Games, even Duel Links doesn't have something like this, and it's a huge draw for me personally. Overall, is it the best Yu-Gi-Oh! Game out there? No. It has problems that should be easily fixed, but its publisher and developer aren't interested in doing anything. Konami was laughed at last year and continues to be ridiculed for its stupidity and carelessness for its franchises, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not exempt. But I mean, is it a bad game that should go unadvertised? Not at all. I think it's a competent game and does well what it does, and the duels themselves play out well and offer a wide array of challenge. Being able to use, say, classic decks in newer series like Zexal to try and win is a fun challenge to give yourself, and it offers a good amount of replayability. I would recommend it at the end of the day. It's fun, addicting, and doesn't cost $1 billion like the real cards do. Want a digital Yu-Gi-Oh! Experience? Give it a try. Now, where's my old duel disc at? Hey y'all, thanks for watching. Really appreciate the view and stuff like that. I have a lot more stuff planned in the new year. I've got a video for Doom, Ghost Recon Wildlands, and multiple other stuff, so definitely stay tuned and subscribe. And that's awesome, yeah. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.